If you're looking for me, you can find me. Pimpin' getting riches, grinding. And ain't no use in even trying me. 45 piece beside me. Now let the church say amen again. Church say amen again. Church say amen again. Purse first, ass last, get your bag and win.
Yo, what up? What's good, people? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. As you see, it's me, your boy Emmanuel, Coach E-Man. I'm bringing you another episode of the MooreLife podcast. It's Black History Month. As you can see, I got my HBCU hat on and I have my Black History is American History shirt on because it is American history. So today's episode will be, I was actually going to do a Black History episode. I still may do that, but today's episode is going to be actually about my time in prison. So I got a few questions from several people, two people in particular. They were asking me, about what it was like in prison, with me going in at 16 and things like that. And they were wanting me to maybe give a podcast about an episode about it, to talk about it, not because they were thinking that some things happened to me or they were thinking like, I just want to be nosy. These two people actually have children, and not going to say that they're bad kids, but they're making some bad decisions. And they're trying to get somebody to be a voice to them, to get them to see that the choices that they're making and the friends that they're hanging with can lead them down a path that they don't want to see, a path that they don't want to, go on. Everybody's out here in the streets. They see these videos, they see these snaps, they see these TikToks, of, I guess, these new young cats, of wanting to be thugs, wanting to be gangsters, right? And then they see these videos of people kicking it in prison, with the spreads, listening to music and things like that. And they may think, it's all, easy peasy when you get in there. And they're not afraid of that, right? But they're trying to do their best as a parent to help their child, not go down that road, because that's a dark road. And when you get down that road, it's not easy and it's not sunshine on that dark road. And that road can get real dark, and I mean dark. So today I'm gonna just talk to you about my time in prison, just some things that I saw, some things that changed me, some things that helped educate me, right? Because everybody, I was gonna say everybody deserves a chance, but I do believe everybody deserves a chance. But I mean, just if I can help somebody, if my story can help you, then okay, fine. Like, I'm not ashamed or anything like that, man. So what I'll do is I'll start when I first got sentenced, and then we'll just go from there. Like I told you guys, I was sentenced at 16. I took a plea bargain for a 15-year sentence on a Class B felony. Worst day of my life. Something that I now know I shouldn't have did, but when you're a 16-year-old kid and you're hearing different numbers and different things, and then your parents are scared because they're hearing different things and different numbers, that's what can take place. And have you ever seen that movie, When They See Us? And there was a scene in that movie where he's dead now. The actor Michael, I think Michael Williams or something like that, with a scar on his face. I like the guy. I wish he could have played DMX in a movie. Him. And his son was in jail, and the cops called him down, for that rape, that they didn't do. And they scared his dad, to making him feel like, well, we'll lock you up, we'll send you back to jail and all these things. And his dad had changed his life, basically, and working a regular job, trying to be a father, trying to be a husband, things like that. And he basically made his son say that he raped that girl because he thought if he admitted it, they'll let his son go. That wasn't the case. And so that's somewhat like mine, somewhat. And what I mean by that is I really didn't want to take my plea bargain. But like I said, you hear numbers, you hear conversation, you hear talk. And by the way, I had a lawyer. My lawyer didn't do really too much, nothing for me. Like my lawyer, Paul Johnson, if I'm not mistaken, that was his name. He didn't do too much for me at all. Like at all, you know. But when you're hearing, no matter how many character witnesses you bring in, no matter how many people you bring in to speak on your son's behalf, he still could get a minimum sentence of 10 years on a 70%, meaning you have to do 7 years in prison, or he can get a max of whatever that is, 30, 40, 50 years or more. That does something to you. And so my dad was one of the most influential voices in my ear for me taking this plea bargain. I'm not mad at him. I'm not upset with him. I understand why, young African American kid, like being charged with a robbery of a white guy. Even if the kid wasn't there, even if the kid didn't do it, he was there, saw what happened, didn't snitch, didn't tell. You can imagine, right? So that happened to me, So when I seen it in that movie, it brought back so much on me that it was like, damn. But I understood why. So there's no hate, no anger, anything there. So, like I said, I start there, 15-year sentence, signed the plea bargain, and hug my mom, hug my dad, whatnot. I go down to the bottom of the jail, right? This year. And I see all these grown men, and they put me in the cell by myself. And I cried for like 30 seconds. And I had to wipe my tears, and I told myself, you can't cry no more. You finna go in here with some grown men. You can't be soft. You can't be a punk. You're gonna have to take care of yourself. You can't cry no more. And I remembered everything that my uncle had told me about being in prison, so that was in my mind too. So I went in there. The dudes chopped to the wheel like, man, what happened, man? What's going on? Told them what happened. And they was like, dang, that's cold. That's messed up. They ain't messing with me nothing like that. I get to Classic County Jail. They sent me to the barracks with everybody under the age of 18 in there for 4 months. And January, 2 weeks after my birthday, I turned 17, they took us to prison. And one of the most messed up things I saw that day, we were going to Pine Bluff Diagnostic. And I saw, we was all in line. Everybody from Pulaski County, other areas going to Pulaski County Diagnostic. And it was this old guy in there. And you could tell he was, maybe a drug addict or whatever. And this one dude was like, oh, what you in here for? And he was like, honestly, and it was like, yeah. He said, man, I didn't have no family living in Jonesboro. I didn't have no friends. I kind of burned some bridges with people. And I was living on the streets. I was doing drugs. And I remembered in prison, they give you 3 hots and a cot. And so I committed a crime just so I could go back to, prison. I was like, 3 hots and a cot. He was like, man, they give you 3 hot meals and a place to lay your head. He said, I could take a shower. I could change clothes every day. I would be warm. I could watch TV, and always have something to eat. And that bothered me because I never heard that before, and I was like, wow, like you got so down on life that you said, I'd rather go to prison than try to live and make it out here. And I get it. Burnt bridges, drug addict, no family and friends. That's all you got. I understand it. I get it now, but just as a 17-year-old, I'm like, God, that was just that mess with me. And to this day, that sticks in my mental, So we go through Pine Bluff Diagnostic. People want to look at you. The people want to size you up. They want to see if you're friendly, if you're too nice. They not really trying you like in some of those movies like they do back in the day they did. Nah, nobody really tries you like that. They kind of figured who would be soft and who they could mess with and who they couldn't, Got questions, man, youngster, youngster, what you do to get in here, youngster? And a lot of the old school dudes will always tell me, man, you messing up your life, bro. You effing up. You messing up. This ain't a place you want to be. And I thank God for those old heads, because them old heads could have tried to take advantage of me or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But nah, they were giving me game. Like, bro, this ain't a place you want to be. This ain't somewhere you want to go. Like, you ruining your life. You young. You still got years ahead of you to do things right. Don't be like us. Well, we've been in gangs. We've been drinking. We've been drugging. We've been robbing. We've been killing all our lives, going in and out of jail and prison. This all we know. You don't want to be like that. Like, and I appreciate them old school cats for doing that. And so now, a couple weeks go by, send me to Varna, Gladiator School at that time. And when I mean Gladiator School, I mean Gladiator School. They fought. and they fought. I go in there again. Remember what my uncle told me. I got an S on my chest. He used to always tell me, man, take that S off your chest. I'm like, what you mean? He'd be like, Superman. You ain't got to be Superman. You ain't got to be tough. But I went in there with an S on my chest. But I didn't go in there looking to start fights, looking to get into it with people. I went in there like, I mean, I'm going to do what I got to do, mind my business, stay to myself. And that's that. I ain't going to start nothing, but if something come to me, I'm going to defend myself. So get in there, and my first 3 months was okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I seen people fight. I seen people get into it, things like that, but no issues, right? Nobody tried to try me. Nobody tried to rob me. Like, it was all respect. Like, I didn't come in there wild like I seen a lot of these other young cats do. I seen some young dudes come in there wild and get beat up, get hit with locks and socks, and get knocked out and get robbed. Real talk. You know what I'm saying? There's one dude from Cali, man, never forget it. This one dude from Cali just talked, had a mouth on him. He was a Crip, or he thought he was a Crip. I don't know, and he got in there in his mouth, thinking he was tough, getting into it with everybody. He was locked up with his uncle, and his uncle was telling him, relax, calm down, chill. It took an old school dude, knocked him out, beat him up, knocked him out, took his shoes, and took his food out of his box. You ain't hear Pete from that cat no more. You know what I'm saying? He used to always talk about, man, I'm from California, I'm from Grape Street, I'm this and that. Old school shut him up fast, and that was an eye-opener to me, because I'm like, man, God, dog, these old dudes don't play, like, man. But I was raised to respect my elders at all times anyway. So again, I gravitated to old school cats. I didn't get into it with them. I gravitated to them. They gave me knowledge. They gave me books, things like that. Like, they talked to me. They gave me the game of what to expect, what prison was like, and things like that. And it was nothing, nothing else but, respect. But when you make them dudes mad, and they've told you time and time again, that can be the effects of what happened. So like I say, I'm in there about 3-4 months now, and I get into my first fight, right? A guy named Poochie from North Little Rock. I was 17. Poochie was 26, 27, 28. Grown dude. Disrespectful cat, man. He's what they call, he was beating a dime. I was watching TV, and he was beating a dime. If you've been to prison or know people in prison, you know what beating a dime is. I ain't gonna say it on here. No, I said he was jacking off on a woman with clothes on. And I'm watching TV, and out the corner of my eye, I see something. And I look, and this dude behind this wall, well, not really behind the wall, and he, playing with himself. And I said, bro, you're not gonna disrespect me like that, bro. My mama will whoop you. Like, I'm not gonna take that disrespect, because you set rules, and some people respect it. Hey, man, don't do that stuff around me, man, when I'm watching TV, man. Like, you gonna do that stuff, go somewhere else and do that stuff. Rules, respect. Dude didn't want to, dude felt like, because I was young, he thought I was just a punk, So I'm like, all right, bro, my mom, I'm gonna whoop you. Plain as day. About 3 hours go by. I'm downstairs where the beds are. And he come in like, man, I don't fear no dude, man, I fear God. And he pushed me. And I commenced to beating him down. I beat that dude up these steps, down this wall, over a rack, and I beat him under a rack. And I told dude, I will not stop fighting until you stop. His homeboys came in. I told him the same thing. If y'all want something, come down here and get it. One of his homeboys ran up, bink, bink, I knocked him out. And after that, they left it alone. And they all went through prison. And they started calling me Lil Tyson. I don't know why, because I don't box like Mike Tyson. But it was because they knew I was a boxer, right? And when it was over, dude actually apologized to me, man. His homeboys from another barracks was like, man, you want to jump this dude? He said, nah, man, I was wrong. I shouldn't have disrespected that dude, man. I thought he was weak. I ain't even on that no more. Beat him up, knocked his homeboy out, had him on swole, had his homeboy on swole. Leave me alone. I don't go, plain as day. So that was my first, experience of being disrespected and getting into a fight. A couple months go by, I get my class 1, they move me to a new barracks. And this is the first time I ever seen somebody get shanked. Like I say, you're gonna see things in prison, man. You're gonna see things. This is the first time I ever seen somebody get shanked. I was happy to be watching TV, but where we are in the barracks, it's like window, and you can look into another barrack in a new building at Varner. And I just so happened to see some commotion. So I got up And I'm looking like, what's going on? So I see this old school dude get up, push this little dude out the way, change the channel. They fight over TVs in prison. They fight over TVs. They fight over dominoes. They fight over phones. They fight over everything. And little dude got up, changed the back. Old school dude hit him, dropped him. I thought it was over, right? So I'm steady watching. Next thing I know, about 5 minutes go by. Little dude come back. He hit dude with some 190 water, 190-degree water. Splash him in the face. Next thing I know, little dude he's sticking him. I'm seeing his arm do this. And I said, oh my God, he's shanking him. He's shanking him like my eyes are big. He's stabbing him. Old school dude falling down, hitting the window. Boom. 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 Falling down, hitting the window. I ain't say nothing. I'm not no snitch. I ain't telling people guards nothing. I said it in the barracks, so everybody got up and started looking like, what's going on? I'm like, shanking it. You know, guard go in the door. They bring little dude out. He's in cuffs. He got blood on him. His shirt ripped. He mad. And then they go get a gurney. And here come old school. They pulling him out in the gurney. And you can see shirt ripped and you can see blood and spots. I don't know how many times he stabbed him or where he stuck him at, but you can see it. And I was like, it's real. And that's what made me realize, okay, it's real in here. Like, it's really real in here. Like, they get down in here, you know, like, wow. And that was my first time, I was shocked. It was a culture shock. And if you guys know anything about prison is nothing but a world inside of another world. Everything that goes out here in the free world, they do it in prison. Gangs, drugs, money, alcohol, even prostitution, even rape. And what I mean by that, you have some female officers who will sell themselves, who, you know, will take money from these dudes and give them, you know, services. Real talk. You know, saying drugs. I seen it all, man. I slept next to a dude. I won't say his name, but may he rest in peace because he was murdered by the police. But I won't say his name. But when I tell you that I seen 3 pounds of weed, 3 pounds of cigarettes broke down, separated, rolled up, and moved out, seen it, everything. You know what I'm saying? But of course, we know how all that gets there. We got guards that bring it in. You have people who families throw it over the fence and put it in places where you can get it, all that, you know, but it's real in there. So that's why I say it's a world inside a world. And of course, you know, right? Sometimes it happens. Sometimes you owe a debt to a person and they take it the best way they know how. Sometimes a person just chooses that they want you. And if you don't defend yourself or you're not a strong enough person, that person gonna talk you out of whatever he wants from you. You know, you have to be mindful of that, man. And that's why I say it gets real in there, you know. So to these kids, man, who y'all think that it's a breeze and things like that, it's not. It's not a breeze in there. You're gonna have people you cool with, but make them mad and see what happens. You know, I've seen it, man. I've seen a dude, like I said, I think I said it in my last podcast. Dude broke bread with dudes not from his same clique, but they all was, I guess, of the same nation. They was BD, he was GD, right? He broke bread with him, ate with him, put them dudes on with cigarettes, with weed, and they let a white dude in the cafeteria walk up on him, hit him with a tray, and beat him up. And their words was why they didn't help him was he ain't from my hood, he ain't from my set. But this is the same dude that has broke bread with you when you were starving, helped you get on your feet, helped you get green money in your pocket, made sure you had money in your commissary, like gave you the game and helped you out. But that let me know then, loyalty is not loyalty in prison. People will use you for what they want. You know what I'm saying? And that's that, you know. You have some cool people in there. You have some people in there that are really genuine folks. You have some people in there, you be like, dang, they really shouldn't be in here. They made a mistake. But then you have people in there that need to be in there. You have people in there that, honestly, I don't wish prison on no man, but they deserve to be in that jail. They deserve to be behind those gates and those doors. Honestly. You know, so this is what prison is like for me. 17, 18, 19, 20, till I got out. You know, one of the worst things I saw, like I said, I seen people get stabbed. I seen a dude get beat with a lock of sock, woke up out of sleep because he had a mouth on him. You know, talking all this stuff, and he was talking to a young dude at that. Dude beat him with a lock in the sock out of sleep, and all you heard was dude hollering for the guards. It's not easy in there. Like, don't get me wrong, you're gonna have moments where you laugh because it's life. You still have to live. You're gonna have moments when you laugh. You're gonna have moments when you cry. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have moments where you feel like, dang, these some cool dudes I'm hanging with. But you gotta remember what you're there for. You there to do your time, you're there to educate yourself, and you are there to go home to your family. I've seen people not go home to their families because of choices they made. I've seen people make their sentences longer because of choices they made. One dude in particular from Pineville had a 2-year sentence. I think he had to do 4 months, maybe 6 at the most. That means he's get there, whole squad, get your class, parole board, go home. That man went flat. He did his whole 2-year sentence because he got in there around dudes he thought was his homeboys. They had him fighting. They had him trying to sell cigarettes and sell weed, and was getting caught. He was getting all type of BS and mess that hindered him from going home. But what people don't understand is you're not thinking about your family and how you're hurting them, from coming home, and they're expecting you to be on the straight and narrow. Yes, they understand that things happen. Yes, they understand that sometimes you got to defend yourself, right? But it's the other curricular activities that you're getting yourself into that you shouldn't be getting yourself into, and that's what we don't think about when we hurt our families. And then you got your family you want your mom and them to pick up the phone, you want your mom and them to call you, you want to write you, you want your mom and them to come visit you, but yet you can't stop doing the dumb stuff to even get home to your family. And I've seen where families stop coming to see their family members in prison because of the dumb choices they made. You know what I'm saying? Mama won't answer. You called your sister, she won't pick up. You called your girl pick up every now and then, right? But guess what? She's still out here living her life. Telling you one thing, but she out here living her life. And that's the decisions that comes with the decisions that we make when we are in there. And like I said, it gets dark in there. Again, remember I told you, people choose who they want. If they know that you're weak, they know that you're scared, they know that you're soft. Had a dude that was cool with named J Boo. I don't know where J Boo at now. Had a dude that was cool with named J Boo. J Boo was a real live predator. He was a predator. Cool nigga. But J Boo was a predator. He liked boys. He liked white boys in particular. But J Boo was cool. Never had issues with J Boo. But J Boo was a predator. What I mean by that is, man, one day we was on whole squad and we were walking back in, and he was with some white boys ahead of us. And me and this other dude was talking. J Boo came put his arms around him. He was like, "What's up, little Mo? What's up, bro?" He said, "Man, you see that white boy right there?" I said, "Oh, here we go." He said, "I'm getting him. He gonna be mine. I'm getting him." I was like, "Come on, stall him out, J Boo. Leave him alone." He was like, "Nah, man. You already know what it is. I like what I like." And I was like, you got it, bro. You right." And the other dude's like, "Man, J Boo, man, what you gonna do when you get out and see a woman?" He said, "Man, I'm gonna get a woman too." And I was like, "Okay, bro, I feel you, man." About a week later, J Boo had that white boy by his hip. And what J Boo do is he make these dudes get his name tatted on their neck. So in prison, you know that they your property. Well, people know that they your property. But then also, they know that they your property. They know that you're a punk. I hate to say it like that, but they know that you're a punk. That's what they call them in prison. They know that you're a homosexual because you got names tatted on you. And every boy he made them tat his name on their neck so people would know when they went to different units or wherever, property of J Boo. But that also means I'm a boy, I'm a punk. So that gives other people a chance who likes that to try to get you, to try to mess with you. Seen it. Crazy. And he'll pick about and go get him. And these dudes would have no fight, but they would pick on the ones who really didn't have family, who didn't have nothing, or were just really, really scared, and those were the ones who wouldn't stand up for themselves. And they felt like if I just do it, it won't hurt nothing because when I get out, nobody will know. But people know because especially in Little Rock, Arkansas is small. So you might see some people. I actually saw one at a boxing match. I saw one at a boxing match. He was dating a dude that I used to box with mom. And I had to tell him, that dude was gay. He was a boy in prison. And his lie was, no, man, that's what they call me in prison, J Boo. And I said, bro, I don't lie to you, man. That dude was a boy in prison and he messing with your mom. If your mama want to mess with him, that's fine, but let her know what she's getting into. You know what I'm saying? And that's that. If that dude, she still want to mess that dude, that's fine, but let her know what she's getting into so that she's not shocked if she hears things like how I'm bringing it to you now, because he's making himself seem like he was this tough guy when he wasn't. He was a boy. It happens. And those are the things I saw. I seen a dude get his lip knocked off. See the dude get his lip knocked off his face by punching. The dude he was fighting, hands as big as two of mine. Knocked the dude lip off because the dude kept talking. And he beat him up so bad, he hit his lip and somehow he bit through his lip and knocked his lip out. The dude had to pick his lip up and go to the infirmary. These are everyday stories that I seen. Like this ain't nothing I heard, I've seen it. Like I've seen these things. And this is why, this was my life in prison. Of course, I went to college courses. Well, I got my GED first and foremost. I got my GED. And I graduated actually the year I was supposed to graduate, 2004. And they even gave us a graduation in prison. My mom and dad came. So technically, they got to see me walk the stage, right? So I got my Arkansas high school diploma, because that's what it actually was called, Arkansas high school diploma, even though it was a GED. I think my mom has it now. I don't have it. But after GED, I went to college courses and with CARC. So they would let college professors come and teach us. So I went to CARC and took a class, like maybe 1 or 2 classes every semester or something like that, free, and your transcript follows you, when you get out, if you get out of prison, or you can stay in there and get your degree in prison. So it was things that I did to educate myself. I read books. I went to college courses. I had my dad sending me all types of books, Eric Jerome Dickey books, motivational books, books about Black love, how to love a Black woman, books about finance. Like I had to read to educate myself. And then I played chess and dominoes, and I love chess. So that's what life in prison was like for me for the most part. Yeah, I got into arguments. Yeah, I got into a couple fights. That's not nothing I want to brag on. Yeah, I got into some fights. One majority of my fights, I lost one fight. I won't lie to you. Lost one fight. I want to say I can't remember if I said this on the last podcast. Got into this dude on the basketball court. I was killing him on the court. I'm talking about like killing him. That day. I don't know what it was about that day. That day was hot. I was taking him to the rack. I was hitting him with the J, and he couldn't stop me. I was D'ing him up. Like I prided myself on defense anyway. So I'm D'ing him up. And he just got mad that he let his other homeboys, man, this dude was real cool at that. And he let his other homeboys get in his ear. Talking junk. So you know me, I'm gonna talk mine back because I know I can fight. So I'm gonna talk mine back, right? So I actually thought it was over with. I left it alone. I thought it was over with. I go into the laundry room and I'm getting my clothes and I hear Lil Mo. I turn around, instant, I get hit. Boom. And I fall back and I come up and I grab him. And he was trying to get me, and I threw him on the wall. Boom. I threw him onto another wall. Boom. Then he hit me again, then I threw him on the floor, and I got up before him, and I tried to kick him in his face, and I stumped him. Boom. And then they broke it up. I feel like I lost that fight because he stole me. He bam, bam, he got me good. But I try my best to defend myself, right? So that was one of the fights I lost in there, and sometimes you're going to fight. Sometimes you're going to see it coming. Sometimes you're not, like in that instance. I didn't see that coming, But after it was over, I sent a message. I was at gym for the time. Come meet me at the gym. You want to fight? Let's come meet me at the gym and fight me one-on-one. He didn't want to come. So the next day, we ended up seeing each other, and he apologized to me. He said, man, I want to apologize to you, bro. Like, he knew I was going to mess him up. He knew I had some fight left in me. But he came and he apologized because he said, man, I felt bad, man. Like, a couple dudes got on to me because I let these other niggas amp me up to fight you, and man, you've been cool, and man, you ain't never had issues or whatever. Like you've been good to me. Like you know what I'm saying? We've been straight, you know. So I want to apologize. Like I know it might not mean nothing to you right now. He said, but bro, I really apologize. He said, but if you still want to fight, man, we can fight. He said, but I don't want to fight you, bro. Like I apologize. And so I left it alone. You know what I'm saying? I went to my visit. I had a black eye. Oh, I was mad about it every time I looked in that mirror. Went in there, had a black eye. My mom trying to figure out what's wrong. I told her I got elbow playing basketball because they do play dirty in there. But I got elbow playing basketball because I just didn't want her to worry about me. Like, hey, man, I'm holding my own. You know, that was the main thing about it. My faith in God and the love of my family and friends. I held my own in there. Like I had days where I got down. You're gonna get down. You're gonna have days where you cry. You're gonna have days where you get sad, you know, but I read my Bible every day. I studied. You know, I grew my relationship in God while I was in there. And that never deterred me from my end goal. And my end goal was to go home. My end goal was to finish my time and get back to my family and get back to life. You know, in 4 years, a lot in Little Rock changed. So when I went to Benton Berkeley's and I was a van driver and I would drive around Little Rock and see stuff that used to be fields, now has buildings there, was a culture shock. And just think about that at 4 years in prison, it was a culture shock. With people being 10, 20, 30, 40 years away, what is going to happen to them when if they do get out and they see the world again, it's not going to be the same as it was when you left. And that's just what it is, culture shock, you know. So I had to always remember my end goal. My end goal was to go home. So I didn't try to get in the fights all the time. I didn't try to be tough all the time. I had to be tough when it was needed to be tough, you know. Like I said, I educated myself. I read books. I went to Benton work release. I got a job, you know, and I worked that job for several months until I hurt my foot and they sent me back to Malvern where I came home, you know, where I ended up finishing my time and coming home. But we don't think about the strain that we put on people when we get behind those walls because life doesn't stop because we're locked up. It may seem like life has stopped because we in prison because we don't see everything but the same white walls every day and the same people in white uniforms. Life don't change. Life don't stop. People still have to go on. And one thing that I had told all my friends that I knew that you don't have to write me. You don't have to come see me. You're not obligated to do anything for me. Live your life. Enjoy. When I get out, I'll see. And I hurt a couple of my friends' feelings with that because it's like, bro, like I'm your friend. But they got to understand, I also had people say they wanted to be there and was there and then left. They stopped. They stopped writing. They stopped answering the phone. They stopped visiting, you know. And that's what I didn't want. I didn't want you to be there because I wanted you there. I wanted you there because you wanted to be there, but I don't want you there and then you leave and turn your back on me. And that happens. That happened to me and it happens, you know. People that you think gonna be there 10 toes down, man. Might be there a year, 2 years, but life happens and life goes on. So shout out to those who really was there for me. My best friend, Shamika. When I say wrote me letters after letters after letters, yeah. I honestly, Crystal. But Crystal left me that last year. She left me. She did some dirty stuff. But Crystal, she was there the majority of the time. She even popped up when I had my last parole board hearing. She popped up, you know, like I'm ready for you to come home, you know. So I have to shout her out for that, you know. My cousins, my friends. B wrote me for a while, but again, life happens. So I wasn't mad at me. Shayla wrote me for a while. Life happens. Not mad at that, you know. So I appreciate that, you know, just being there, you know, for the time that you were there. But shout out to Shamika for sure, because Shamika, when I say Shamika was there, and I didn't even tell Shamika I was going, Shamika found out through somebody else. Shamika was there. Shamika was there. Shamika came to visit me. Shamika wrote me. Shamika was there. And Crystal, no lie. Her mom, Mama D, may she rest in peace, accepted them high calls all the time. Paid that bill and didn't utter a word. Didn't utter a word. And that woman loved me. while I was in my mess, and she loved me when I got out of my mess. So thankful for those. But to you young kids out here, man, that's hanging with these dudes, hanging with these so-called gangs, thugs, or whatever you're doing, it's not important. It's not, your life is more than that. Going to prison can make you, it can break you, it can hurt you, it can harm you. You can make one bad decision to be in there the rest of your life and have to look at your mama through pictures and walls and phone calls, or when they come sit with you at a table and they tell you that you can't really touch the person next to you. You know what I'm saying? Things like that. Yeah, had that. You can't cross this line. They sitting on one line, you sitting on this line. You can't cross the line. You just got to sit there and talk to each other. You got all inmates on one line and their families on the other line, and you can't cross this red line. Yeah, happens. You can't touch it. When the visit over, you might be able to hug, and that's it. Can't touch them during the visit. Life is more important than some of the choices you're making. Life is more important than some of the friends you think are your friends who really ain't. And my dad had to tell me that. My mama too. Some of these people you think are your friends are truly not for you. Some of these people you think are your friends are truly not your friends. You know what I'm saying? Like, they may seem cool, but they don't have your best interest at heart. At 38, I understand that now. That a lot of people didn't have my best interest at heart. Even at 38, I know some people still don't have my best interest at heart. But the only thing I can do is continue to be me, continue to grow, continue to educate myself. That's all I can do. Be a good man, be a good person. And I fall and make mistakes at times. Sometimes I'm not a good man. Sometimes I ain't a great person. It's a lot of times I don't even want to be the bigger person, but that's what life is like in prison, man. I can even go deeper than that, just seeing how a person had no family in there. They didn't get a chance to wear the Nikes and the Reeboks. They didn't get a chance to be like everybody else and get letters. They didn't get a chance to get money put on their books. The only time they got money put on their books was Christmas. They gave you $5 for Christmas to get something from commissary, and then they would give you new socks. And I want to say drawers, new socks and underwear, Christmas. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen that where people have to go beg. Hey man, can I borrow this? I'll do whatever to pay you back. You know what I'm saying? But that's how those doors can be opened when you don't pay this person back and you stay to borrowing. Now you in debt. And being in debt in prison, if you can't pay it, it's not a good thing. It's not a good thing. I seen these dudes rob this guy. Like I said, I won't say his name. But I seen these dudes rob this guy, and they took his money and they went and used it for commissary, green money, and they used it for commissary. And so we all get back in various, I seen it, but I didn't realize that's what they did. And so later on that day, that night, guy comes up to me, he's like, "E-man, where my stuff at? Where my shit? Where my shit?" I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about? Man, you the only person being here. Where my shit?" I'm like, "Bro, what are you talking about?" You know what I'm saying? Like, and so the guy got him up off me. He's like, "E-man," I was like, "What's up? What's going on?" He said, "Man, somebody robbed us and took our money and some of our cigarettes and some of our weed." I said, "Whoa." I said, "No, y'all know me. I don't steal. I ain't had nothing to do with it." And so the two dudes that did it lied and said it was another guy. And since he was new to the barracks, it just made sense. Since he was new, he did it. So this guy goes up to him, grabs him, chokes him out, thought he killed him. I thought he killed him. And I'm watching this. I'm like, oh my God, he killed him. He smacks the dude up. Bow! Smacked him again. Bow! The dude woke up. Oh my God. Lip bleeding, confused. What's going on? And it was like, "Man, you stole my money. You stole my," and then that's when it clicked. And I said, "No, Wallace and Tyson took your money." That's their last name. I said, "Wallace and Tyson went to the store with Green Monday day. I saw him." Instantly, Tyson tried to run out the barracks. Couldn't run. He got caught. Wallace, he was so shook, he just stood there. They all ganged up on Wallace and Tyson. And they come to find out, they took the money, took the weed, They took the drug. I mean, took the cigarettes. Not all the weed and cigarettes, but they took all of them. When I say for 2, maybe 3 hours straight, they set these dudes in a corner and they beat their tail, punished him. I'm talking about not body shot, I mean beat him down. And this stood with me because the guy was talking to Wallace. And he went his first time going to prison, he was 16. And he was in and out of prison, stayed out for a while, and then ended up coming back that time. And he told you, man, had this been back in the day, and you would have robbed me, excuse my language, what I'm finna say. He said, man, I would have fucked you where you stood. I'd have had you sucking my dick, and I would have fucked you. And my eyes got big, and I was like, whoa. He said, yes. He said, because you don't take nothing from me. You don't rob me. If you needed something, I would have gave it to you. He said, I would have helped you. And I was like, he meant it. And you see it in his eyes, he meant it. I was like, this nigga's crazy. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it was back in the day. Them dudes, they would have took it. Period. Someone would have fought back. Would have took it. And he said that, and I was like, my God. Messed me up. You know, first thing I'm thinking, shoot, I'm glad I'm cool with this nigga. Big old dude. I'm gonna fight, but I'm like, I'm glad I'm cool with this nigga. And he even came to me. He's like, bro, I apologize. He said, man, because I didn't think you stole it. He said, but I know you have access to going anywhere on the unit. So if anybody would have did it, it could have been you because you have access to go everywhere. He said, but I didn't think you stole it. He said, that was them other two, you know, but that's why I told him to chill out and just let me talk to you and ask you. He said, I know you're not gonna lie to me. He said, man, I got much respect for you, man. He said, I apologize. And he looked out for me. He was like, what you want? I said, man, I don't want nothing, bro. I'm good. Y'all ain't do nothing to me. Didn't matter. He went to the commissary and gave me $50 in commissary. Just bought it and gave it to me. Out of respect, because I got accused of something that I didn't even know nothing about. You know, and then of course, I saw those dudes getting that commissary and was like, bro, Tyson Wallace went to the store today with green money. You know what I'm saying? They went. I wasn't saying they stole it, but they went. Come to find out they did, you know, but that stuck with me, man. And when you hear somebody tell a person that and they mean it, you know it's real. You know stuff is serious now. You know, like real deal serious. And like I say, I've seen men come in there as men and walk around there like they ain't men. I've seen, yeah, tough. I've seen people be so scary that they find faith. They find faith in God. They find faith in their Muslim beliefs. They find Allah. I've seen people be so scary that they join the Aryan Nation. I seen a white boy join the Aryan Nation, shaved his head bald, Aryan tattoo on the back of his head. I got out of prison and seen him, what was it, about 2010, 2009, 2010 at Walmart. Long hair, covering up that tattoo. And I asked him about it. You know, I said, hey, you don't rock the bald head no more? He's like, no, man, you know, no, that was a prison thing. I said, oh, okay, I get it. You know, but what you gonna do if your family find out, you know, that you was in there acting like you was a racist and you was a part of this Aryan Nation? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I'm thinking. But that's what people do for protection. They join these cliques and these cults or whatever you want to call it. You know, they find faith. You know, they went to the Christian barracks. I know dudes who went to the Christian barracks. And I forgot how long they could stay in there, but I know who dudes who went to the Christian barracks so they wouldn't have to be involved in things. I know people who asked for transfers to other prisons because they were scared of what a person would do to them. So all you young dudes out here, man, thinking that prison is just a piece of cake, it's not. It's another world in there. It's another life in there. And it's either going to really make you or break you. You're really going to have to stand up and be a man, you know, or you're going to be treated as such, as something else, you know. And if you go in there with respect, you know what I'm saying, and going there with your head down and just focus on your time, things going to happen. Life is going to happen in there. Things going to happen. You may have to fight. Somebody may try to rob you. Somebody may try to punk you. Somebody may try to try you. But you defend you. If you defend yourself, they'll leave you alone. They'll respect it. You know? But when you go in there with that loud mouth, you know, you want to get with these gangs, Crip Blood, Folk, Vice Lord, Black Peach Stones, or whatever else, you know, BMF, no, BG, a Black Gorilla family. You know, a dude from California, he swore he was BGM. I don't know if he was a cool cat with me, so I ain't had no issues with him. You know, and all that, man, you know, you say you down with that, and then you get in there and you get stuck in that mess, and now your 2-year sentence done turned to 6, or your 6-year sentence done turned to 12, or your 10-year sentence done turned to 20. It's the choices you make. It's the people you hang around. You know, it's really who you factor as being important. Granted, you have to protect yourself, and life living in prison is important, but your family and getting out and coming home is important too. You know, so like I said, I've seen a lot in there. Seen a lot. It ain't nothing I wish on anybody else. It ain't nothing that I would tell a person to go to. Like y'all ever seen those episodes? The dudes be 30 days in jail or 60 days in, and they have to get acclimated to being an inmate in jail. And you see some of the stuff they do in there, the fighting and the people taking stuff. When prison is about 10 times worse. It's about 10 times worse. But again, everybody don't mess with everybody. Everybody don't try. You know, you carry respect, and a lot of people respect you. You might have every now and then a young dude come in that want to try you, or think because he with his homeboys he tough, and you catch him by himself and he can't fight a lick and scared. That happens too. But yeah, so man, again, you young cats out here, man, that are listening. If your mom and dad, man, don't be like me, man. Don't be a kid who decided to get in trouble. Don't be like me. Don't put yourselves in situations where your life can change and you can alter your life. Granted, now that I know, it was reasons why I went to prison. I had to go to prison to grow, to be where I am now, to be who I am now. It molded me. Now it created some things in me. And what I mean by that is I'm distanced. Like I don't have to talk to people. You know, I can be away from people. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mom and dad, them is in Ohio. I may talk to them once a month, something like that. Like that has built that in me to where I'm still, even though I'm free, I'm used to being by myself and used to being away from people. You know, is it a good thing? Nah. Is it a bad thing? I don't know, you know, but I'm distant, you know, very distant. And it's not on purpose, it's just who I am. Like I'm a homebody. I'd rather stay in the house. I mean, I go out and do things, but I'd rather stay in the house. Prison kind of did that to me. I used to go out, even when I got out of prison, I used to go out and hang out, but it was always just the comfort of being in my home, in my solace, you know, of knowing my surroundings. And even then, prison, even before prison, I used to watch my surroundings, but prison really taught me to watch my surroundings because you never know what a person will do. I've seen a person sitting in the lunch line getting his tray, get ran up on and get shamed because he wasn't watching the people that he was into it with. You know, so you always have to have your head on a swivel in there, especially if you're getting into it with people, especially if you're starting stuff and acting like you tough and you this big dog and all this. You're gonna have to have your head on a swivel and watch your surroundings. So that's what life was like in prison for me. Seen a lot, got into some fights, won majority of them because I can fight. But I grew. I educated myself. My relationship with God grew. My faith in God grew. I became better in some ways, and I changed in some ways because seeing things like that will change you. It will have an effect on your life. It's trauma. A lot of things I saw is trauma. That's why I can tell you verbatim everything I seen. A lot of that stuff I saw was trauma, but that was trauma because of bad decisions that I decided to make. But still, it's trauma. And already growing up as an African American male, I've dealt with trauma, you know, from a little kid till now, you know, so that's just trauma on top of trauma, right? It's trauma, you know, but we take it one day at a time. We pray, We read our Bible, if you're God believing. If not, you read the Quran or whatever else you believe in. And we try to grow each day and be better and try to make better choices each day. Even if we fail, we still try to make the next best choice the next day. And we get up and we keep moving and we keep striving and we keep trying at life, because life is hard and life isn't fair. But it's life. We get to live it. So by us getting to live it, let's make the best out of it. Y'all be easy. I'll be coming to you with another podcast episode soon. More life.